Hi again and welcome back. It's what's the date today? It's the 30th of November 2020. Got to the charts a little late today, and you'll see that the way that we trade, it really doesn't matter. You've got no prior analysis. You can sit down at the charts and within 20 seconds, without looking at anything at all, within 20 seconds, 30 seconds, you can have your trade plan drawn up and be ready to trade. So let's get straight over to the charts and you'll see where I am. You'll see that I managed to take position fairly quickly as well. So let's get straight over to the charts. Hi again and welcome back. It's the 30th of November 2020, last day of November. Seeing if I can add to my monthly total today. It's Monday. Seen a bit of movement in the markets early on. Price is starting to shift already. And I didn't get to the charts until a little later than I usually do. Got to the charts about 10 to 8 in the morning London time. Flicked through the charts, immediately saw some entry points, and I took those. I'll go through them in a minute with you. One of those that I took, it was the Australian dollar Japanese yen, just turned and gave me a full stop within a few minutes. So I'm currently down 12 pips right now. There's no red news events today, so apart from OPEC, there's an OPEC meeting going on throughout the morning or throughout the day over in Vienna. So that could be, that might be having an effect on the markets through the London session with it being held in Vienna. But they don't actually come out and give any numbers or allow the press in there, but you get news leaking out and that can affect the markets. So I'll be watching the Canadian dollars for that, as the Canadian dollars are is the currency that's usually affected if anything major happens with the oil news. So let's flick through these charts. Nothing on the Euro Japanese yen right now. Sorry, Euro US dollar. Euro Japanese yen, I took this long, got in at 63, you can see that. And I'm already up about 12 pips profit on this. Nothing for me to do right now. I'll usually wait. In this instance, I'll probably wait for price to see if it reaches up to that 80, pushes through it a touch, then I'll consider locking in break even, locking in a few pips. But right now I'll just be sitting watching this, nothing for me to do right now. And it's moving up quite nicely. Seeing weakness in the Japanese yen. Get myself sorted out here. Pound US dollar, nothing to do on that. Pound Japanese yen, that's moving up. I'm not positioned on that. But again, being driven, looking at this by the Japanese yen weakness. Australian dollar US dollar, caught this as price came through an entry point at 81. Starting to pull back a little bit. I'm a little bit underwater with this right now. Taking it at 81, just above that 80 level there. I'm looking for this price to come back down through that entry point below the 80 and then down towards this 50 level. I've got my take profit set around about there at the moment, but depending on how the price action goes through into the London session, if it starts to get a bit late, then I start moving my take profits back a bit, usually to give me a 2-to-1 risk to reward. So in this instance it's a 10 pip stop loss, and if it's getting late or price action isn't really doing a great deal, then I'll move my take profit to give me 20 pips and see if it can hit that. The Australian dollar Japanese yen, this is the one I took short earlier on. Got in at 78. As you can see, that price is just pushing back, being driven by the Japanese yen by the looks of it. US dollar Japanese yen. So that Japanese yen weakness coming into play on this one. Actually caught this as it came through an entry point at 11. And so looking for this price now to move up through this 20 level, up past the previous day's high, that's from last Friday, and up towards 50 where I've got my take profit right now. So again, nothing to do on that. I'll just monitor it and see what this price action does and see if there's an opportunity to lock in break even. Once I see price probably move up through that previous day's high there. US dollar, Canadian dollar. Let me see what's going on here. 1 second. Okay, looking at this US dollar, Canadian dollar, it's just touched an entry point. I didn't have a pending order on this, but there's another part of our strategy and criteria that probably would have held me out of this. And if you're not already a member, and if you'd like to find out more about the way that I'm trading this very, very simple strategy, very straightforward, I'll post a link down in the description box just below this video, and if you take a look at that, click on the link, it will take you through to the membership, or where you can find out more about the membership of the Price Action Traders Institute. So nothing to do. Oh, it's bouncing a little bit there. Let's see what. Okay, we're seeing strength on the Canadian dollar. Could be down to this OPEC meeting that's taking place, but right now I want to see what the US dollar is doing as well. Okay, these moves are not about the US dollar. It doesn't look like it anyway. So these two pairs here we're seeing, that's all about the, oh, this is nice. I would have liked to have caught that, but I've missed the entry point now, because you've got the strength in the Canadian dollar working as well as the Japanese yen. Okay, let's see if I can get in on this. So I'm interested, I've placed an order there. I'm interested in taking this short simply because of that Canadian dollar strength. And like I say, I'm not really seeing the US dollar doing a great deal at the moment. That's about the Japanese yen, not the US dollar. That there is about the CAD. So I've just placed an order on that, see if I can get positioned on that one as well. Canadian dollar, Japanese yen, this is the one that I would have liked to have taken, but missed it. Like I say, those two currencies are working together. Strength on the Canadian dollar, weakness on the Japanese yen, and that is the ideal scenario. That's the best position that you can be in with these with Forex trading. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Took this at 24. You can see way down here. Since then, that price has been pulling up and back. So is this about the Aussie? Not really, no. Okay, we could be seeing, let's see, it could be about the New Zealand dollar. I often dismiss the New Zealand dollar. It's as if it's like insignificant, but it's really not, because so often it mirrors what I say mirrors, it copies and runs in line with what the Australian dollar's doing. But US dollar doesn't seem to be doing a lot across the board. Ah, hang on a minute. Okay. Could be seeing a move. No, we're not really seeing a move on the US dollar. No, sure we're not. So that there is probably about the New Zealand dollar, that shift to the upside, strengthening New Zealand dollar. That is definitely to do with the Canadian dollar and the Japanese yen. This is to do with the Canadian dollar, and I've just taken an entry on that. So I'm just going to move my stop loss in place now that I'm positioned on this. $10 pips on the US dollar, Canadian dollar. Short. Just need to enter that into my journal, because it's essential to keep a journal, keep track of what you're doing during any given session, and then of course you can always go back to it once the session's finished, and just check that everything was as it should be, making sure that you're working with criteria and not making any mistakes. And it gives you a little overview as to what's happened. So let's see what's going on. Okay, we could be seeing some Australian dollar strength coming in, which could be driving that, as well as the New Zealand dollar. So that Australian dollar, Japanese yen, I'll be very interested in that. Australian dollar strength, Japanese yen weakness, working together, pushing this up nicely. So I'll need to wait though. There's nothing for me to do right now. And as the members will know, they'll understand exactly why I can't touch this at the moment. So I'll just keep monitoring that. Probably place a pending order on it. So that's where I am right now. That EJ is doing okay. Starting to push up through that 80. There's 11.5 minutes left on this candle. Looking for this price to close above that 80. Then I'll probably lock in a few pips. Maybe a little more than the usual 2 pips. I might lock in maybe 5 pips on this. But we'll see what happens when this closes. Euro, US dollar. I've missed an entry point now. So we could be seeing strength coming into play on the euro. Pounds on the way up too, and they, not always but often, work in alignment with each other. So euro strength, and I've missed an entry point on that. Not to worry. I'll pause the video for now, and I'll be back with you in a little while just to let you know exactly where I am, if I take any other positions, and see how these play out. Okay, I'll be back soon. Hi again, back with you. Just to let you know that I've gone flat the market. Today was more about a quick profit to add to my monthly total rather than sticking in there and pushing trades. I'm just happy to finish the month with a little bit more added to my overall monthly total, and I'll go through all those figures with you a little later in this video. So I'll quickly flick through. I was holding the EJ. What it was, I'd taken another stop. I'd taken a full stop on the New Zealand dollar US dollar, so I lost 10 pips on New Zealand dollar US dollar. Australian dollar Japanese yen, that was the first one that stopped out almost as soon as I took it. And those other positions, euro Japanese yen, what else was it? Australian dollar US dollar, and US dollar Japanese yen. These are all profits, by the way. I punched out of them. US dollar CAD, and that was it. Yeah, and the two stops. So what I'll do, I'll flick over to the summary sheet now, show you how I did today, and I'll also give you the results for the month of November. So I'll be back with you in a little while just to run through those. And here are my results. I just saw one of my positions take profit, and today wasn't really about pushing or anything like that. It's the end of November. I just wanted to get in and get out with a little bit of profit if I could. Of course, there was the risk of losing a bit of that profit that I've made throughout the month, but last day of the month I just decided to get in and out and see if I could grab a little bit more to just show up a bit of a better number for November. November's been very, very difficult. The price action has been absolutely awful. Now, some people start to lose faith. Some people start to become despondent during times like this. And, you know, it's something, this is why the mindset is so important. You have to get used to it. The fact is, you'll have good days and bad days. It's like any other market. You might own, I don't know, you might own a shoe shop. Throughout the summer, you might have stacks of people coming in, buying new shoes for their holidays, beachwear, things like that. And then you might get months, I don't know, leading up to Christmas or something, and your market is absolutely flat. You're not making any sales at all. You're still paying expenses for shops and, you know, council tax or whatever other expense you might have. And it's exactly the same with this. You'll come to the market some days and it'll just be so easy. It'll flow and the money will come pouring into your account. Other days and months, it'll just be a real struggle. You'll be fighting for every single pip you can get. And that's what November was like. A real, real struggle. But anyway, I'll put all my results up on Twitter as I usually do. You'll see the monthly results and everything else. But for today, like I say, a quick grab. The initial trade I took, Australian dollar Japanese yen, really quickly took a full stop, losing me 12 pips. The New Zealand dollar US dollar that I took a bit later on, that also took a full stop. A bit slower moving back, but it did, and it stopped me out for 10 pips. So 22 pips down, and then these are the trades. I saw this euro Japanese yen move and hit my take profit, giving me 20 pips. Australian dollar US dollar, 4 pips. US dollar Canadian dollar came out at break even, because these three remaining trades I actually punched out of these once I'd taken that reasonable profit there. So yeah, -4 on the Australian dollar US dollar, break even on the US dollar Canadian dollar, and plus 10 pips on the US dollar Japanese yen, giving me a grand total of 12 pips. Not a lot, but it's still profit, and that gave me 0.23% profit on my capital, money in the bank. So that's it. I'll close this down for now. Please remember to hit subscribe, and if you subscribe and hit the little bell in YouTube, you'll get notifications as and when I post these videos. I'm trying to post more and more of them now. I'm going to show some longer videos as well. I'm trying to increase the length of some of the videos, going more in depth as to what I'm thinking, how I'm feeling through my trading session, which is very important to any trader. I'm not saying that I'm important to any trader, but that type of analogy and insight is important to anyone who's trading. It's all about the mindset, and that's the biggest part of this game that we're all playing. So yeah, please remember to hit subscribe, hit the bell, you'll get the notifications, and I'll be back again soon with another video. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.